What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and huge news just announced today. Buckle your seatbelts because we have just heard that Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, she has changed the arrival time. She has flipped on stimulus and infrastructure, you guys. This is your stimulus check update, stimulus package update, and breaking news update. Now, take a look. We're seeing articles coming out like this. Nancy Pelosi says the vote may be delayed on the $1 trillion infrastructure bill that is scheduled for tomorrow. And this is nuts because we literally just heard her say yesterday that there was going to be a vote on the $1 trillion infrastructure bill on Monday. And now, less than 24 hours, she has flipped her stance, saying it's not possibly going to be happening. But wait, take a look at this next article. It has been confirmed. Nancy Pelosi backs off a Monday vote on bipartisan $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. You guys, the infrastructure bill is not being taken up tomorrow. Now, this changes everything. And as you know, this is because the infrastructure bill and the stimulus bill are tied together. They're two parts of the whole infrastructure package. The first part being $1.2 trillion for roads, bridges, highways, traditional infrastructure like you'd think. And the second portion, $3.5 trillion for what they're calling human infrastructure, aka it's going to be the next stimulus package, money for people. Now, they wanted to pass these through tandem because we've got moderate Democrats and progressive Democrats that can agree on both of these bills. Moderates want infrastructure but not stimulus. Progressives want stimulus and they don't really care about infrastructure. So they said in order for everybody, all the Democrats, to get what they want through the process of reconciliation, we have to pass both bills together. Nancy Pelosi has the infrastructure bill sitting in the House. It's ready to roll, but she said, we're not going to vote on it yet. We're going to vote on them together, and we'll vote on them on the 27th. And this will give us enough time to get stimulus ready as well, and we'll pass them both through at the same time. And now what we're hearing is stimulus. It's not going to be ready tomorrow, not even close. They said maybe sometime next week, but it's not happening on Monday. And she promised, though, infrastructure would come up for a vote. And what we're hearing is if she brings it up for a vote without stimulus, progressives have said in the House that they will wreck the bill. They will vote no, and it will fail. And what we've heard is that moderate Democrats in the Senate have said if you wreck that infrastructure bill, when it comes to the Senate, all it takes is one no vote from a Democrat to wreck the stimulus bill, and we will do it. Kyrsten Sinema has said she will be the one that will wreck the stimulus bill in the Senate if infrastructure fails. So, as a result, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi has now realized she cannot bring up infrastructure on its own tomorrow. Stimulus is not going to be ready, so she has come out and said there will be a no vote. Now, here's the other thing. Kyrsten Sinema also said, Nancy Pelosi, if you do not bring infrastructure up for a vote on Monday, I will also wreck stimulus in the Senate when it gets there. So, is Kyrsten Sinema going to stick to that? Is stimulus going to be wrecked in the Senate? Is infrastructure going to pass? What's going to be unfolding, you guys? I don't know, but I'm going to go ahead and dive into these articles, get you caught up on the latest as to what we're hearing so you know what's going on with infrastructure and stimulus as of today, September 26, 2021. So let's go ahead and dive right in. But before we do, if you could do me a quick favor, just takes a second. If you like and appreciate these updates, keeping you up to date on everything that's going on, and there's a lot right now, don't forget to take a second to smash that like button. I would appreciate it. Helps out the channel a ton. Just lets the YouTube algorithm know that you think I'm doing a good job, and in turn, they're going to continue to promote my channel and my videos. Now, in addition to that, leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share this out if you think it's going to help out other people. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. Turn on that notification bell. Come join the viewing community. Come join the RAM fam, we like to call it. I'll keep you up to date on all this stuff. Stimulus, Congress, the economy, unemployment, anything having to do with our money. And if you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. That is by far the best way to get a hold of me. I'm very accessible. It's easy to get a hold of me. Shoot me a DM. And yes, I go through all my DMs. Give me a little time because I get a lot of them, but I'll go through, and if you got any questions, I'll do my best to respond and get you answers, you guys. And use caution here on YouTube because we get those scammers that come around, they take my picture, they claim they're Steve Ram, and then they say, contact my assistant on WhatsApp, and then they ask for your personal information or for you to give them money. You guys, I don't have an assistant, I don't have a WhatsApp, and I don't randomly ask you to donate me money in the comments, okay? That's not me. I'm here to get you caught up on the latest. And with that being said, let's go ahead and do that. Let's dive into these articles and let you know what's happening as of today, September 26, 2021, with the arrival time flipping just announced from Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi on infrastructure and stimulus. Alright, you guys, so link in the description below to this article that just came out today. I always cite my sources so that way you can read them for yourself. And it says, Nancy Pelosi backs off Monday vote on bipartisan $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. Now, the article says House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Sunday backed off of her pledge to bring the bipartisan $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill up for a vote on Monday tomorrow, saying she won't do it if the votes aren't there. And she said, "I'm never bringing to the floor a bill that doesn't have the votes," she said at ABC News this week. "You cannot choose the date. You have to go when you have the votes in a reasonable time, and we will," she said. But the California Democrat insisted that we're going to pass the bill this week. So even though she's saying it's not going to be happening tomorrow like she had promised, it is going to be happening sometime this week, she's saying. Now, Pelosi last Friday said that she would bring the measure up for a floor vote on Monday. We literally had just heard this from her. Under pressure from moderate Democrats who have tied its fate to the sweeping $3.5 trillion stimulus spending plan. Now, both are key parts of President Biden's agenda. As we mentioned, this is the reconciliation package with dual parts. Now, also, moderates want the bipartisan measure to pass first, but progressive Democrats are pushing for a vote first on the $3.5 trillion spending legislation that contains funding for the climate, family leave, education, and expansion of the social safety net, aka, as we mentioned, the next stimulus bill. Now, reading on, it says, in order to move forward, we have to build consensus, Pelosi said, which makes sense. She's saying, why should we pass through a bill in the House when we know it's going to die in the Senate? We need everybody on board simultaneously before we move forward. Now, she said, it's self-evident that the price tag of the spending bill will come in under $3.5 trillion. You guys heard it. They're going to be cutting down this stimulus bill. They're going to be slicing it down so that way moderates, centrists will get on board with the overall price tag. So that video that I shared with you just the other day, giving you a link to the bill when it was released of $3.5 trillion, that will be changing. Now, reading on, it says, yeah, that seems self-evident. That seems self-evident, she told George Stephanopoulos. I think even those that want a smaller number support the vision of the president, she said. Obviously, though, with negotiations, there will have to be some changes with that, and the sooner the better, so that way we can build our consensus to go forward, and we will do just that, Pelosi said. Now, also, we heard from Representative Pramila Jayapal, and I shared with you that video footage when it came out. She is the chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus in the House of Representatives, and she confirmed during an appearance on CNN that the votes aren't there for the bipartisan deal, and we heard her say that her and all of her progressive caucus said that they will vote no if infrastructure comes up without stimulus. So these are the progressives that have said they will wreck the infrastructure bill on Monday without stimulus. And she said, I don't believe that there will be a vote. And she was right. Pramila Jayapal said on State of the Union, the speaker is an incredibly good vote counter, and she knows exactly where her caucus stands, and we've been really clear on that. Now, this is a pre-conference bill, which means everybody in the Senate and everybody in the House has to agree, Pramila Jayapal said. And she said that the vast majority of the Democratic caucus is behind Biden's Build Back Better proposal, but wants the Senate to engage with the House. Now, Representative Josh Gothenheimer called on the Democrats in the House to pass the infrastructure bill first, saying that these two pieces of legislation are actually separate. Now, you've got the infrastructure. It's a historic, once-in-a-century bill. There's no reason why we shouldn't pass that right away and get those shovels in the ground, he said. Now, the $1.2 trillion infrastructure plan passed the Senate in August by a 69-30 vote, and the House Budget Committee on Saturday approved advancing the $3.5 trillion plan to the floor for a vote. In other words, stimulus has been pre-approved to go for a vote this week in the House as well. So there you have it, major news unfolding. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think is going to be happening here? Do you think that stimulus and infrastructure will be ready this week? And if it is, are they going to bring them up tandem in the House? Will stimulus and infrastructure pass? When it gets to the Senate, will Kirsten Sinema vote down stimulus, or will she allow it to pass through if it passes through in the House, even though it's not on the arrival time that was originally promised? Let me know your thoughts, you guys. We're going to be seeing what unfolds here if Democrats can pull this off with the process of reconciliation and pass through infrastructure and stimulus, the largest stimulus bill we have seen so far. Now, in addition to that, we're also going to be looking at Congress this upcoming week, a huge week, you guys, for stopping a government shutdown and also hitting the debt ceiling. There's going to be a vote on a stopgap bill for that tomorrow as well in the Senate, and we're going to be seeing what's unfolding, you guys. So I'll be sure to keep you up to date here on the channel. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. And again, if you made it this far and you haven't already, take a second to just smash that like button. I would appreciate it. Helps me out a ton. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, come join the viewing community, come join the Ram fam. I'll keep you up to date on all this stuff. And if you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, hope this reaches you well. I'll catch you in the next video. Remember, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday, and occasionally on Sundays, too, whenever there's breaking news and Nancy Pelosi flips on stimulus arrival times. But with that being said, hope this reaches you well. Hope you have a blessed Sunday. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.